balance between friendship and also teamwork. Let's have a look at the roster though for Fierce Esports. No, it's London. It's London Esports, Ben. See, I've got it mixed up internally in my head. I was so used to it, but it's not how it works. Obviously, the merry man and the knight.
Yes, of course.
And also the solemn man.
The solemn.
Fraser. He's solemn. He takes solace in himself and the merry man when they're out questing, Ben.
Don't forget the Mendoza. I believe that was the evil guy after the Elite World, if you ever watched that.
Oh, yeah.
Mendoza was the evil twin of Cortez. Evil brother. It's quite a throwback.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watched the Elite World.
Well, they said they were bringing it
with
back.
Westheimer.
Didn't they?
Yeah, they did, to be fair.
Yeah.
Lies, of course.
Yeah, it was lies. They contacted Kyanite. They asked him if he wanted to voice a character and everything, or one of the casters, because they wanted casters for it. For one of the things, yeah. Mental. Elite World. If you have a bit of a throwback there. If you haven't seen it, go watch Elite World. If you have, tweet us. Hashtag ESL Prem. Who's your favourite Elite World character? Let us know.
Leroy.
Let us know, yeah.
Leroy was fun.
Outrageous.
Yeah, this lineup stayed the same the entire season. The Merryman and the Knight. Merryman, Mezzy, he's kind of like, first 2-3 weeks, he played really well. Since then, in my mind, he's fallen off a bit. It's been a lot more focused towards Fraser, obviously, last week. Cray as well. But I feel like, Mezzy, I think he just, needs to find that level where he hit the consistency level where it's not just peaking and then dropping completely.
It does definitely feel like other people found their comfortable spot and they're kind of stepping up around him now. So the team actually functioning quite nicely. Moving on though to Fierce Esports, the opposing side, obviously Stanley. He was in, then he was out. We did the hokey cokey and he's back in.
Yeah, and obviously the pairing, if you want to think about it, Spry and Stan both won 3 Premiership titles.
Yes.
It's one of those things where you've got a crazy amount of experience in players who are still considered to be young as well, right? Because Spry and Stan, they're not exactly... They didn't play CSS like in the same way that some other players have.
Yeah.
They're now in this situation where they're in a team of people they're really close friends with, people they gel with in-game as well as out, and it's really... it's nice to see though as well, because I know Stan, he's been such a good player, but he's always had issues in teams, whether it's motivation based or just the general team.
Well, he's been very unlucky in his career as well inside of CS, because Ghost was an awkward one, obviously playing a season of Pro League out of a hotel room on 15 pillows as a chair is probably not the best. Yeah, he's never really had a break, so good to see him now back into a position where obviously he can actually display that level of skill he had, because he's always been a talented player, even when he sort of popped up back in the days where he was known as XP. What was it, XPC? Was it XF? What was it? XFP.
Yeah, it was XFP.
Yeah. That was it. Yeah.
AMF was Fry.
Yeah. Fry. Yeah, when because they kind of popped up as a little bit of a duo as well at the time.
Yeah, it was kind of weird.
Dudley kind of scouted them out, I believe.
Yeah.
One season of the Prem with the working men.
It was quite an amusing one. Yeah, be a part of our seed, right?
Yeah.
But altogether, this team still, in my mind, considered to be the #1 in the UK. Until we see Endpoint versus them in a proper situation, I'm not sure. I still give it to Fierce.
Well, that's the thing as well. There is not really going to be a challenge for them for a definite top of UK either until we see the next season of the Prem with Endpoint maybe back on top, or the Epic Lion finals of the whole the series they're doing with that, because that's the only fight we'll actually see between those two sides, because Endpoint obviously got absolutely destroyed this season.
Yeah, it's been a disappointing one for them on the grand scheme of things, but all in all you could be thinking for Fierce, the fact they're in the playoffs, they're a bit annoyed about that, but they'll be thinking, okay, whatever. At the end of the day, you still need to be everybody in front of you. So it's just another case of just doing your job, get to the finals, then from there, we'll take it as it comes. I believe the winner of this matchup would go to face Revelation as well, which some teams would like to have that matchup online, I believe, because some people are thinking online they're a bit more confident than they would be online, which, in all fairness, I can understand that. Like, that's just a case of being inexperienced, you don't play the same at LAN as you would do online. It's just, some people do, some people don't.
It's also the entire factor of that team, really everyone in that team's first experience on an ESL Premiership stage.
Yeah, stage is the other thing.
Which, it's a whole different environment. There is playing on LAN as a local area network, like an Epic, but obviously playing on the actual stage, that's one where it's really going to potentially hit you with the nerves. We see some players shake it off and literally look like they're not affected by it. We kind of saw that with Fry, obviously, with his debut. But you do see teams that it can hit them.
Yeah, I mean, the worst thing is if it hits a player who's incredibly important to your team, right? Like, so imagine if your IGL is affected by being in that situation. Suddenly your entire team's build is gone. Like, you know, there's no
thrown right out the window.
Yeah, you can't do the same stuff you do online. Sometimes a team like Revelation, for example, the amount of fast-paced play they had, imagine suddenly, you know, they don't play that style. They revert to this style they're not comfortable with, and from there they get exposed and they lose quite dramatically. It could, you know, there's all kinds of ways that this could turn out. But I've got to be thinking, I'm hoping that they play the same, because that could be quite a matchup. Yeah,
that's true. Well, that is in the future. Of course, Revelation will be at our live finals. For the meantime, let's dial it back a bit and talk about the now, Ben, as we do have the veto coming through for this best of 3.
Yeah, so, I mean, I did have a little brief message from Ian Imi Harding, coach of Fierce eSports, of course, right before the game. And he was saying, I was really confused by the video, because London banned Train. That's our perm ban, is what he said.
Yeah.
And he's like, and they've left in their perm ban, which is normally Nuke. Obviously, Fierce, they played Nuke quite a few times during the group stages. They played it against formerly Fierce, looking for Org, and they also played against CX as well. And they were, you know, clearly they play it often. Yeah. I wouldn't say it's like their, you know, first or second map, but it's, you know, still up there as third, maybe fourth. So it's a guarantee map where you feel comfortable, right? So they left that in against Fierce, which at first you'll be thinking, well, that might be an anti-strat situation, right? Or it's just simply them forgetting or doing the balance plays wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume that it's an anti-strat thing, because otherwise it seems a bit ridiculous.
It's one of those sort of situations where if there is no actual logistical reason is why they've done it, bit weird. Because, you know, obviously, this is the system where you would have a little bit more information as well on a game-by-game basis, because people were submitting their vetoes per game. So you would actually have that information available to you to at least learn your opponent's strengths against, you know, I mean, you've played in that sort of environment. Yeah. You should know.
Yeah, it's just a bit unusual. I mean, London picking Mirage, not too surprising either. I mean, the thing is, you have, of the maps that we've seen this season from the actual formerly Dizzlone guys, we've seen them play Inferno. Yeah. It was very one-sided in the other team's favour. We've seen them play Dust 2, where again it was a bit of a mix-up. 16-13's Revelation, and then there was also that Pensioners game where they got destroyed. Yeah. You've also got, I believe it was, it's coming to mind now. It was literally last week, Cash against Endpoint, and that was again a situation where perhaps if Fraser doesn't play as well as he did, could be very different.
Potentially, yeah.
Right? Yeah, you've got games like that. So you think of the maps that were left, Cash gone. You're not going to pick Dust 2 against London because they do play it quite a lot. So Mirage comes through, and if you think about earlier in the season, they played Mirage a lot. Yeah. So you've got Mirage, Nuke, 2 maps that Fierce are very comfortable on to begin with in this series, and that's kind of worrying.
Yeah, it's awkward territory. Obviously for London as well, it's the fact that they might struggle going into Nuke, especially if you start off with bad foot forward over on Mirage. For the most part, it's not even that it's really equal pegging from either side. It's one of those where it could actually go quite heavily in Fierce's favour if they get the ball rolling instantly. Especially with a player like Stanley, he was pretty much the Mirage king for quite a few years in the UKC. If you think about maps that he thrived individually on, that was his rock of a map. He absolutely loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy one. The thing is, well, we also have the system where when you pick the map, the other team must choose the side.
Yes.
And we know that Fierce have chosen T for Mirage, which is kind of crazy, really. But at the same time, if I think back to week 1, London, as at the time, Ardis, for example, they kept them by map times. It was a 14-1.5 on T side. They had complete control in the meta that is the CT meta, essentially with the org. They were still able to do that same game style. Yeah. So I'm wondering how, you know, if they start on the strong foot there, will that roll into Nuke, even if they started on T side Nuke? You know, it's like how hard can this train go? Right? Is there a speed restriction? Is there wins? You know, are we having
Where's the break?
Yeah, is there a break? Right?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Ian's got the break. Ian's tampered with a break.
He's tampered with it. It's gone.
Yeah, the break is gone. It's just the bald man's head.
And you have to slap it.
Yeah. Faster, Ian.
And thank the bus driver.
Yeah. Thank you, Ian. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian, on the way there. So Dust 2 left in the pool on Inferno. Considering it's Fierce's choice, I imagine Inferno, due to the performances off of London earlier on in the season, they didn't seem too great on it. Yeah. And when you think about best of 3 in general, I'd rather be on a third map, just because it feels like a good third map.
It's it's a consistent ender. It's one of those, you know, Inferno as a third map and a best of 3 really is a bookend that you would like to finish on.
Both as a spectator and as a player.
Oh yeah.
The spectator is perfect. You'd love to have your major grand final, third map Inferno, great. Overtime, yes. But then, if you were on Dust 2, for example, it feels like a map where you could suddenly lose 16-2. Inferno just doesn't feel like the same kind of map. Obviously, it can happen. It just feels like you've got more of a chance on a map like that.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be a factor going into it. So Mirage being our opening map for the series then. Obviously London's pick, Fierce eSports, we'll see what they can do. We've spoke a little bit how they can try and bring that through. We've seen it in the opening weeks. In reality, from the map pool that we have here, I feel like I've got to give this to Fierce. Probably, it feels like it could be a 2-0. Again, it seems like we could have another 2-0 here in the playoffs. It's
definitely not a crazy thing to suggest. I think I would agree with it as well. Mirage, Nuke, both very good maps for Fierce. And I really wouldn't be surprised, but it's all up to London, right? They need to show up.
Yeah, I mean, if they can play like they did individually throughout the whole season, all of them have had moments of individual brilliance. They really just need to display it as a team right here, right now. But we are getting into things. Fierce on the T side, charging their way towards the B site initially. Already want to show their strength, but Mezzi, tell what you were saying about him, Ben. Punishes the first man that comes in towards the site. However, he is traded back by Eccles.
Not a proper dink. However, damage to the corner of the wall.
Just a little one.
So let's see. There is a kit on Cray. It's going to be 3 men through kitchen, 1 through short. Stanley's position is paramount to this actual hold here. If he's able to get any sort of help when contact comes through, it'll be huge. He's actually been able to turn around and get that kill and even carry on further. It's kind of crazy. Where's he going?
I told you, Stanley on Mirage, he's an absolute lunatic, Ben. All this damage done, Cray's on 3 HP, Astro, he's only got to get 1 shot off, and he's the last man alive. Yeah, goes down again. Yeah, he could have had a chance there, potentially, if he just would have sat on it, but I guess, you know.
I know what it was. Advanced play right there to make it so they don't get a knife kill on him when he's defusing.
Yeah.
Just die straight up instead. $300.
Of
course, 40 chess.
But there you go. That's one of the starts from Stanley that I expect to see on this map. He's been doing this for years.
I'm trying to think, was he a part of that all-4 lineup that drew the easy skins?
Yes, he was. He was in that. And they played at the Overpass, Mirage was the map, sorry.
Yeah, it was Mirage.
That's where it kind of started for him in terms
Although
of this
I think it was Bertie, wasn't it? That was the primary. He had like 37 kills in that.
Yeah, him, Bertie. Who else was there?
Maxi B.
Maxi B.
And Evie.
Yeah, we played them on Mirage, that LAN.
Yeah.
Me, Bardolph, Matty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think we lost like 16-2. We were bad.
I think we avoided Mirage when we played them.
Yeah.
Because it felt like a good idea.
They were unreal on Mirage.
Yeah, interesting. I remember that was during the groups as well, so everybody was kind of just crazed about how does that happen?
Yeah.
Sort of thing. And because of the round difference from the previous games, Easy Skins went through as second in the group, which was quite amusing. Still won the event, of course.
Yeah, versus Chonk Gaming, I believe.
Big Chungus Gaming.
That was the one. With that ECU guy.
I think his name was Yesio.
Yesio, that was it. Skeptio.
There's quite a few iterations.
You had a hand-drawn fish.
Yeah.
That caster guy made from. It was coming through though into this.
You broke it. I thought you had.
He said his name. It caught me unaware. Snuck up on me. A little byfield out of nowhere.
And this is where the Cupids go across the screen ideally.
It would be.
But producer Rob's not there.
Producer Rob's not there.
Yeah.
No, too busy talking to producer Cat over in the corner. Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
So 2-0 from Fierce. It's been a solid start from them, obviously. That was like half A smokes being done there. Some casualties, but that was London forcing into it as well. It's worth noting. So this will still be basically a full eco. There's one flash on Adam, which is basically meant to be for the mid-crunch when the take goes in the full. It's just a matter of time really. Astra's in underpass. That kill actually probably changes things. They have to go for it now. And they will get Astra, but I don't think there's much else to find.
Ooh. Okay, Stanley. Slaughtering towards mid. It's going to be the main man, Dominic Solcass. Actually pop off into the round with 2 kills of his own. So that's the easy 3-0 picked up there relatively quickly, Ben. But look at London's response. We're getting the AWP coming out on Fraser. Fraser, obviously the Prem VP going into this week's broadcast. Can we see a little bit of that magic that he was making on Cash today on Mirage?
So straight from the get-go, it looks like it's a bit more of a fast B play coming from London, or Fierce rather. But they will be able to get a buy in next round regardless of what happens here. Which It's very similar to the pistol round. Link playing all the way at the back of the site. He's already walked.
Oh no, he could have been so effective from the position he was in as well, but they were able to get past him. They make it awkward. Mezzi as well goes down after just getting 1 kill. It's a 4 versus 3 already into the round. Adam is tiptoeing his way up with the Terminator. Could not successfully find kills today. Fry with a double achieved as well.
That's the AWP lost as well.
Yeah. And it's only Cray that remains, forced to just scurry away.
This is the style of play that I like to see from Fierce. They know we can aim very well. If we hit them with fast enough play, as well as concise play, knowing exactly what you want to do on the rounds, it's really nice to see. It's sort of, it kind of helps that I know for a fact, with Amy at the helm behind them, it's the sort of plays we used to do in Cherry Gaming. It's like where you know you've got the momentum with you. We know what we're doing. We can keep doing this sort of stuff. Like I remember there was a game where we rushed B 12 rounds in a row.
Yeah. And
the guy in B still didn't know what to do. Because we knew exactly what we were doing when we were going in.
That's the thing, and it also gets to a point where it's kind of, you know, it's the WWE weakened knee approach.
Yeah.
You just keep throwing the metal stairs at the weakened knee.
Yeah, here comes the pain when it introduced like the little body bits where it goes red and everything.
Yeah.
Cool mechanic.
It was good.
So a bit more of a composed round from the start. Although they might be greeted with the Link himself, I'm sure. The missing Link.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, it's Princess in the castle, mate. Got to get out of there. Ooh, Adam, though, coming back through with the Deagle. Cray as well. Into this party pistol round. They are starting to put them down on the opposing side. Fierce eSports only left with 3 players. Adam, still just hovering, hungering for an extra man to push towards him. Does go for the wide swing. It could be awkward. Gets off a chest shot. Stanley able to recompose himself. Eccles as well gets the opener up on towards the B site, Ben. This is when they can actually start to leak their way in, but the missing Link himself gets the flick up. Damage from the Deagle done. And they are trapped, spread, 2 to a site. And Astro, how's he actually going to opt to play this one? If they both go for a capitalization, a bit of a pincer play onto the B site, it could work for them. However, he is scoping towards A. A matter of timing, really. If Cray peeks this, Ben, timing is everything. He was so low, just 21 HP. Astro is able to hold the angle, gets the kill. Stanley still just lurks, waiting for Link. In reality, it should be one simple little tap to the head.
It's the fact as well there's no armor in play.
Yeah.
You look at the money on them right now. Even if they didn't get the kills, they probably could have afforded getting the Kevlar. It was max loss bonus. So that might have, you know, that could have impacted the round at a greater scale. Like you think Cray has armor, he probably doesn't take as much damage to begin with, gets the kill. Has an AK, might be able to do more with it. But ultimately, go to thinking 5-0. Fierce, they're already building a bank. Lowest cash is still 5,500. This is that T side we were worried about. Electing to start on T on a map like this. Straight into a best of 3 as well. That's showing confidence from the get-go.
Here we go as well. Stanley towards underpass with assist from Astro. This is normally where he would get up to some fairly cheeky shenanigans that would have a big impact into the round. They Molotov it off in the meantime. London actually burning for a ton of utility here, Ben.
I was going to say, look how many players they dedicate towards mid. There's 4 players from the team set at mid. Like, there wasn't even a player playing A. Like, oh, straight up, there wasn't a player there.
No.
Willing to take that risk, even though in previous games we've seen Fry walk out quite a lot. Like, whether it's through Ramp or Palace, he will just, after a while, he will just investigate himself further. So there will be smokes heading towards A. And as I mentioned, there wasn't actually somebody playing there. Cray's basically playing retake here. Fraser will arrive at CT, but it might be too late by the time. I think that smoke's missed. I think it's landed on the roof. So this is Cray's own smoke here. Bomb's down on site now as well. Cray playing behind the smoke gets the first kill. Very awkward situation there.
Ooh, Cray with a flick through the smoke killed Stanley. Fry going to go down as well, and that's all it took. It was a Cray yay round.
Cray yay. With a big 3K yay. But ultimately that gives the option now for a reset. which is the big worry, right? That's always the concern when you win this round of CT after losing multiple in a row. Could you potentially be reset? So here's one change immediately. Astra picks up an AWP. If you remember from the previous games we saw in the season, Astra didn't need to do much with his AWP. It was more of a, he was there ready to clutch if needed.
Yeah.
So mid control is paramount apparently for London. They seem to be consistently putting 2, maybe 3 players on towards it. So this seems to be the set routine. Oh,
timing.
That timing could have been both ways, right?
Yeah.
Fraser peaked and then turned around. It was very close. But there seems to be a set routine from the London guys in the sense of re-smoking connector over and over again, just to try and make them think you're playing it, and then obviously some rounds they will, some rounds they won't. Adam, he should have heard one of these, at the very least. They'll get the first kill, but Astro can't get the trade. That's a bomb down as well. It's probably the round.
Yeah, you think that'd be it secured there. Link with the AUG, able to go for that fast face, kill Solcas, and it is all up to Eccles. 1 versus 5. Should be the second round for London secured. They've got the bomb control. There's not too much the young Eccles can really achieve. 20 seconds as well. He might be walking into his fate. Link is there, gets the kill, takes him down at least. He doesn't die half the time.
Fierce can still get a buy-in. Some people will be a bit scrappy for nades, but otherwise should be a full one. So those 2 rounds won by London, paramount that they have a lot of people alive, right? You can see the money starting to build up, but the fact that they're spending so much on utility consistently makes it so it is kind of difficult to get that economy building as quickly as it would like to be. So the quick short smoke comes through as Fraser goes to jump, and he actually gets the kill as well. It's a very nice opener's find. It was going to be a power burst with an A split. Mostly a power burst now, and they actually get the oop. Already a 3v3. Oh, 24 damage. Oh, that's so close.
Bomb has been planted.
Very close to getting spammed. It's going to be a tough 3v3 to actually win.
Yeah, this is going to be really awkward. Stanley ignited as the Molotov goes down around him. The counter of a Molotov of their own back against Mezzi to keep him at bay. If they are going to go for this round, they need to start doing something now. And that's exactly the play, Ben. 2 frags come through. Fry and Stanley both dropped. It's all up to Astro. He is the brains of the operation. Can he punish them? They run straight by. He gets the first frag off. The spam onto the second gets them so low, but he couldn't get the kill. And they have the time as well. Just in the nick of things. London, they get themselves another one. The 3 versus 3 works out well.
Yeah, the 3v3 works out, but ultimately we're thinking, in that 3v3, you had 2 players having to do their own thing. Astro couldn't make the risk to try and help them due to not knowing if this player was from CT. Stan, as we saw, he was getting pressured quite hard by Molotovs as well. And Fry, he was already so low too.
Yeah.
So 5-3. London's, the money, it's building ever so slowly. But the fact that Fierce keep getting multiple kills keeps lowering that chance of it.
Very early commitment, all the nades.
Yeah. 2 smokes are going to come through. I imagine this is window and short. That Molotov does very well for Link, right below the window.
Repositioning from Link is effective. They're picking up all the kills. This time there is no casualties yet. Stanley is the only one that remains. Can only be a nuisance. Paranoid though, the shots came through. Expected them to be directly at him. Flicks back around to only see a smoke. At that point, he's given away his position. 5-4 as the first pause comes in. This could be a first eSports pause.
I imagine so, right? Yeah. It should be a tactic coming through there. You lost 4 rounds in a row. 3 of them were by, 1 half by. That BXX that did come in, a bit of a weak one, all things considered. Like the good utility use, good positioning from the actual players in B site. So what started as a very strong 5-0 for Fierce, now closing into that 5-4 scoreline, with London having very, very good economy now as well, where they can get a buy-in for the next 2 rounds probably. regardless of the result. The question is, what will Fierce do? So the main thing is that mid control has been absolute paramount for London. They're controlling, they're having a play out short 20%, window / jungle, then connected typically. The play apparently is to go towards A from pretty early on in the round. And at the same time, London were playing very aggressive towards mid. You can see Mezzi pushing up, and they're playing a retake. So this might be a 5v5 retake though, coming in.
Okay, crossing their way through the fire and flames, taking more damage from their own utility than they are from their opposition, but at least they've secured the site, Ben. The full up 5 versus 5 retake. The whole hog is about to be coming out. They have a ton of utility on that CT side. Playing towards the site as well. Grouped up, 2 players close on triple. Adam comes around. Entered in by the flashbang, but it doesn't work out amazingly. It is just a 1-for-1 trade, and Stanley looks to further the lead back in their favor. So Gas has to watch his teammate die directly in front of him as the nades are swarming in, but he is still fighting with confidence, Ben. Stanley, the Molotov igniting the bomb, and it all comes down to him to try and clutch it out. Time is ticking away rapidly. Mezzi, he's got to just sit on the bomb. Stanley doesn't quite know where it is, gets the quick adjustment though, as soon as that call was made. Punishes Mezzi.
He was on it?
No.
It didn't look like it, did it?
He was just waiting.
Halfway?
It looked like someone must have just called. No, he's on it. In the smoke.
Well, he is on it. Then
yeah.
A good round from Stan again. You said after that pistol round, hoping to get him to build it up further and further.
This is normally his map. That's the thing. It's pretty consistently been a map where he's always dominated on.
So following the choice to play retake, Fraser goes for the Pictals Palace, potentially based on his spawn rather than anything else. Misses the shot and surely he gets crunched on here.
Oh! 2 headshots for Fraser. That is ridiculous. How has he gotten away with this?
He gets 2, and in the time that it takes to actually get him killed, Frey's already there.
And they punished them, Ben. All that's left is Fry. It's going to go 6-5. It's going to stay close. It's also the fact that that Fierce pretty much instantly reset.
It's quite a hard one as well. You can see the money is not great. Fry with a crazy jump peak. Just a matter of time. If he's able to take 2 guns away, I mean, it would feel better, but it's still not. Yeah, that one up, doesn't it? 6-5 as mentioned. Another pause comes through. I imagine. I wouldn't be surprised if it was London, but I do feel like it's Fierce again. Right? It's one of those where London might pause just to be like, okay, be aware their money won't be great.
Yeah.
Make sure you do your regular grenades at B. Actually, it is a Fierce one though. So 2 pauses used by Fierce already, by looks things. I do like that people use them rather than not, though. I mean, it was the same thing when we were watching Pro League, right? It's like,
oh yeah,
G2 consistently always use their pauses big as well. They love doing it.
But it makes sense.
Yeah, like, as long as it's at times where it's needed, I like to see it, because you might as well practice as if you are on land in that same stage. Because otherwise, what's the point practicing a situation like this where you don't pause?
Well, it's also one of those where it's like you have access to those pauses, even if in that time, you know, you just give yourself a little bit extra time to work out the buys more efficiently, or something where having a bit more ample time would be effective. Use it. You might as well.
Yeah, it's available to you. Nice little nade top mid. That one's been doing quite a lot of damage by Adam there as well. Did it earlier on. He does get away just about. 10 HP. Utility being used very, very well so far from London and CT side. It's just a case of if London can keep all 5 players alive here for this part.
Oh, Razor. And the kill onto Astro, Ben. As now it is all just left on Fry. This is going to be 6-6. It's going to be a pretty close affair. From the bloated early lead that Fierce were actually able to start with, it's actually come back now to a much more tame position.
Yeah, it's 6-6. Fierce, they have to take this eco. The issue is there's only so much you can do when you are on full box like this. Ideally, you'd have a player who has slightly more cash to get some flash or like a smoke as well. But it looks like the play might be to just go towards B but in contact perhaps, because it usually gets smoked. But they're actually just going to be rushing straight in.
Oh no. There's the scurry out of that.
This might be Tour de Mirage.
Yeah, it seems like it will be. The whole around the world of Mirage. As they've set their gaze back over towards the A site, the full rotation's coming into effect. Cray hungering for their arrival with the AUG. Might be given a bit of a tasty treat. Adam already spots them out as they go for a bit of a delayed push. Yep, there we go, and the whole way back around.
The thing is, right, from our point of view, it looks a bit ridiculous.
Yeah.
But this is kind of more fun. Anything else is more fun than just running into the site, getting around over with, keeping the momentum like not on their side, right?
Yeah.
But you try and make sure the game is not just fluidly going their way, their way, their way. Have some fun with it, though. And if you want, you can go back again. Ooh, hang on.
They're splitting up.
Oh,
Miscommunication was there.
No, they're all in.
Oh, they're all going to go back around towards mid.
Yeah. At least everybody window. That's the next call on the cards.
It is a classic. Link looking to put an end to these shenanigans now. Fraser as well coming through. At this point, it should be fairly easy to leave them out in the dark. Fry, the only one that remains. Ooh, tap comes off with the Glock.
Straight away.
Yeah, nearly, but blown to bits by the HE.
Yeah, so I mean, like the main thing is you have some fun with it. You keep it so it's not quick rounds going against you, because like the mental effect that some people do take when you just lose an eco round anyway, even if it's like, even if you say this is a throwaway round, they still might, you know, that builds up quite quickly, like an annoyance. So not a great buy going out from first this time. Still all AKs though, which is the main bit. And Link's actually pushing up mid a bit as well. Stan was ready for it, but looks like that smoke's gonna fade any second there. So it's about to fade. Link's still on the floor, but Fraser's still covering very well. That kill means they have to go out A. Cray's ready at CT, but any onslaught's come through.
Solcast, a lot of damage taken from the Molotov. He had to board his way through it. The bomb's already going down, so they've got the control of the site. How's the retake going to play out, though? At this point, Spam's just coming back in. Fraser trying to clear the angles with the AWPs. Solcast gets a bit more info as well, and they push through. And Eccles is going for the full Mighty Max rotation. Having so many players are at mid, Ben. Shots are coming through, picking up a large collection of the frags. Doesn't matter too much, but they've already shown their hand. The shots from Eccles go out. They know of his location. There isn't too much time. It's not actually planted fantastically for him on the wide swing. You can try and stay a little bit in cover there. But Cray, doesn't matter. He can't do it. That's all he had to do was try and delay. And he did so effectively.
The thing is, for Cray, he's managed to get the kill.
Yeah.
And look at the money on the actual T side. It's still not, even though you won that round, it's still not great. Like London, they'll be able to get full buy no matter what for this last round of the half. First tactical again. So that's, obviously this will be more to talk about the buy. Yeah. I think, great. Because that buy, you know, it'll be a bit dodgy here and there.
Yeah.
I feel like some people should take the hit, go SMG.
You've kind of got to at this point, right? Ooh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So Fry Stan should do the same. But Galil, that's, yeah, still
it's not
fine.
too bad,
You get smoke on a flash, it's not crazy. He's actually going to go Kevlar because he wants the Molotov. So I wonder if that'll be key in what they actually do for this round then. Because obviously, against the CT side, as everyone should know, run the risk if you have no head armor. You can be one-shot by the M4 or even a P250. So the Molotov is the connector. So that's the same setup they've been doing every round pretty much when they've gone top mid. There's usually smoke there. It'll then be a Molotov connector. However, this is slightly different from London then, because normally they've challenged it, they've not usually been smoked that window until quite late on. You can see the change, because Fraser are AWPing towards B, Mezzy now towards mid instead. And Fierce, it's going to have to be two smokes used, and I think that has to be stairs and jungle. They're going to have to fight Cray towards CT here. Didn't go too great the last round. Actually, Cray's pushing forward. Very bold, unexpected though.
Oh, Cray. The flick around, gets the shot off with the Org, eliminates Soulcast. Eccles going to trade it back. Stanley as well, with the Galil of all weapons, causing mischief. Mezzi trapped between a rock and a hard place, but the Org giving him the edge as he does annihilate Stanley, and it's all on to Fraser, our Prem VP, utilizing the offensive utility to blow Fry out of the server. Switches out to the other scoped weapon at his feet, the AUG. Molotov as well, casted out, followed up by the smoke and the flashes, using all that utility in one go. Azul now bombard his way on towards the site. Didn't expect it though, Ben. Did not know of Eccles' location. And that will end our half 8-7 in favor of Fierce at the half.
An interesting round to end the half on, because ultimately, so I mentioned Cray, he pushed straight out of CT. We've got a tweet.
Is it true that you
Some
leave
guy
UKCS?
called J_Watsai?
Watsai, apparently. Is it true that you were leaving UKCS to cast mobile games full time? Hashtag ESL Prem. I believe he's got me confused with someone else.
Someone else.
Yeah, I think he's talking about that Snods guy.
Ah.
Yeah. I heard he was going to become a professional boxer. Hashtag ESL Prem. See, that is
yeah,
Snods.
that does
Snods.
make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So they
There we
are
go,
thinking
yeah.
about Snods. Okay.
Okay.
Good. That makes a lot more sense now.
Yeah. And that's funny that that's on the table over there.
Yeah, I know. The official Costa Coffee account tweeting in. I didn't realize they were a fan of the Prem. Other brands of coffee are available, of course.
Yeah. But this one, fan of the Prem.
Fan of the Prem.
Yeah. Yeah, that half again ended weird. I mean, Cray played aggressively, and I was like, okay, that might catch them off guard because he played CT last time.
Mm-hmm.
But then he kind of played. Oh, he didn't play aggressively from that position though. He kind of stayed in. He had one of his teammates die before he peaked. He only gets the one. His teammates die. He then dies as well, and then it's a 3v4. And from there, much easier for Fierce to take the round. Ultimately, it's not as strong a T side as we probably would have expected based off that start. Right, it was 5-0 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess they got their footing at the end, right? Like they managed to get themselves sort of back into the game enough that confidence shouldn't be an issue. They should still feel kind of warm about everything else.
Which one of those carpets would you buy, Ben?
I'd probably go with
The one on the right.
in the middle.
The one on the right with the snowflakes, quite nice.
Yeah.
It's quite big.
Interesting design choice, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there we have it. If you have a preferred carpet from the Mirage Rug Store, tweet us, let us know. Hashtag ESL Prem.
Of course. You can check other map carpet stores as well.
Nope. Mirage only.
Mirage only. Yeah.
We like carpets from Mirage here and hard-hitting journalism at the ESL Premiership, Ben.
Ooh. The fact that they still got a headshot off on him is kind of unreal. So Mezzi has one flash still left. March from outside A. Goes over and it's going to be a full ace, but this smoke has missed ever so slightly, but they still get the kill because he's that low.
Yeah, the Frying Dutchman is down and out. It's now on to the 4 versus 5. Astro as well. Inches away from his death there. Soulcast going to be sent straight down. And Fraser adds to the kill tally as Eccles is eliminated. Ooh, tasty kill from Mezzi. Very precise. Astro might even be... Ooh, he might only be on 2 HP, but he's still giving it, Ben. The snapshot onto Cray. Perfectly executed. 8-8. As another round goes the way of London. Tying it up instantly on the pistol there.
2 absolutely naughty shots,
yeah,
to be fair. Considering he's on 2 HP.
Confidence through the roof.
The question is, will we see much of an arrival from Fry and Dom on this CT side? We didn't see much from them in the T. It was mostly Stan, Eccles here and there as well, and that was after it. So compared to the first half, Fierce not electing to buy. London, it's another tank. It's a classic. And it actually will be a B play though as well. The tank is going to come into force. Oh my lordy.
The full tank. The AK slaughter as well. Fraser getting himself free into the round. Rough. Not ideal. The tank was not ready for the armor-piercing shells there.
So if you remember from week 1, it may have been a 14-1.5, but they did take quite a while to get those last 2 on board. And it was primarily because of buys like this. They went for the Org and then it was Armor with next to no names, which is the meta right now. But they were struggling to work with it, at least to start off with. So the question is, will that be a similar situation this time? Looks like London are ready to go towards B. Eccles is playing retake by looks things as well. Adam the Soul Lurker towards mid. And here comes that take. Nice
Link.
damage.
Yeah, tag down to 5. Adam completely finished off by the Org. Eccles in position to slaughter each and every one of them. They're getting these shots off. Can they convert it from this position on the retake? Stanley. Headshot achieved from quite a distance. He is low. 17 HP left, but his teammates are doing the cleanup for him. As if he was going to have a moment to pop off, it would have been right now. Link, with only 5 HP, cowering in his boots. The wide swing from Soulcast is more than enough to eliminate him. And that's a scoreline once again tied up.
Bomb has been defused.
9-9. I think ultimately, that was a lot of it was due to Eccles' damage. Because we saw Link, the last man standing in that situation. He was actually the first player into B. He was the one that got headshotted when going right across. So 9-9. Fierce back in with another buy. 5 Orgs, well 4 Orgs actually, and Bamas. London straight in again as well. Although they will have a Mach 10. So comparing the CT sides, London obviously were heavy orientated towards mid. They really felt like mid control was needed. Fierce, not so much to start off with. Surprisingly, having a few questions asked of him, I think, to this round right here. Stan will re-smoke it, but it might be too late.
Oh, walking up into the awaiting arms of Fry potentially here. He's got that Org. He can definitely be effective with a weapon. However, the timing gives him the opportunity. Caught with the Molotov in his hand as well. Luckily, they get shot in the back from Soulcast. Astro going to add to it as he rips the head off all on his own. Stanley dives back through the window and tries to capitalize on this one. Link and Adam, the last 2 remaining T's, scurrying away, chucking flashbangs as they retreat over towards ramp, tucking in on the corner. The push comes through, it's a bit of team attack dealt out. Stanley caught out in the open, exposed as well. Link, he wins that one, Ben.
It's crazy because I think it was Eccles that picked up a HE grenade on the way through. And all it would have taken is 1 HE grenade to land roughly just above that Tetris sort of area. It would have killed both players.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you said, the team attacking, getting in front of each other's aim. Very awkward to have that not be a factor, I guess, as well. It's, you know, it's difficult to make that work. But that's a round that Fierce really needed to get on the board. You see the effect of it. Taking this eco on the chin. 4 USBs and a CZ available to them.
Ooh. Airstrike hitting Astro. Landing right on his noggin. Leaving him with just 5 HP. Stanley, swift movement. Gets on the scene on time. And leaves him into a 3 versus 3 now, as Fry also is able to chip away ever so slightly at the London machine. Should be simple pickings from this point onward though, really. They have the firearms. Link as well with the Mach 10, building up an extra bit of cash for his troubles into the round. 11-9, Ben, as they are soaring ahead with the rounds.
The thing is, Fierce can't really buy here. So they'll take another half buy in. We're probably looking at 12-9 unless we see Fierce win this round out of nowhere. But then again, the story of tonight has been mostly rounds where you're thinking, we'll buy next, and you win the round still anyway. The question is, will we see that again for this map? Or rather, this series in general.
Yeah.
So 2 through ramp, 2 through palace is the plan. The issue is there's 4 players from Fierce here. This is the kind of round that you do fall to.
Spam from Astro. Doesn't quite connect, but he's able to scurry into a more defensive position and stay alive to fight another fight. The wide swing from Fry could be perfect as well. Through the wall, the damage being done, and it's left up to these last 2 remaining. CTs in Astro and Eccles. Astro not taking any damage from that.
It didn't go down.
Oh.
Fraser missed that. That's very unfortunate because obviously, as we've shown, Astro's on 4 HP. So all it would have taken is literally one tick.
Yeah.
So that bomb fully in the open. They smoked Palace as well though. Fraser playing as if he doesn't have much time when he has a lot of time to play with is the thing. The worry though is Eccles has armor as well as the AK in his hand. So any angle he does face should be an easy swing off of Astro's initial peak.
Oh, we've seen him.
And he does have a card. He has no idea.
Oh no.
I said that's the kind of one you do lose though. You end up going into that half buy and it's so hard. They jumped across stairs and everything. They got kills towards those people, but they never cleared sight. They didn't get out Palace. They didn't do anything like that. So an annoying run to lose and a costly one at that. Look at their money. You've got a player on a Galil. You managed to get an AWP out. Player on a CZ as well. It's not ideal.
It was rough indeed. They still have the advantage of 1 round over Fierce though. Fierce, a very strong buy. They have the firepower going into this and that could give them the edge. Adam setting up for the short smoke. Link as well, going to smoke towards mid window. As they'll want to try and gain control towards mid here.
Full trifecta smoke's being used there. Short connector and mid window. So if Fierce were planning to play mid, they have no control of it whatsoever now. Oh, it looks like the play is more of an A-split situation. Stan's position is incredible here.
Ooh. Doesn't matter. Link with a Galil ready for it, Ben. Pounces into action. An instantaneous kill picked up by Link. Oh.
He's picked up the AK off Stan's body as well.
That is just savagery.
It was just the speed.
Yeah.
It just feels like he's not even looking at you. So it's a 5v3. The bomb will still need to go down though. This is still not out of the woods just yet. Dom could go huge on the beat. Gets one. Thinks another as well. This is suddenly doable. It's now a 2v3.
How has it got back into this position already? The sheer damage coming through from those scoped guns. And now it's just Mezzi and Fraser. Timid, quaking in their boots, left to try and clutch this one out. No real utility other than a single flashbang for Mezzi.
Oh no.
Oh, the barrel sticking out as well. Eccles can swing on that, pre-fire into it. Mezzi would have to get the kills off and make this one messy with the AK. But it can't not happen. Eliminated. 11-11 as it is tied up once again for another time in this matchup.
It's a really bad round to lose on London's side. 3v5. And somehow you give away 3 kills in the space of literally, what, 2 seconds? Kills that were not needed to even take the challenge on. So they eco one more. They'll go for the buy. We assume this will go 12-11 in favor of Fierce. Question is, how much do they actually keep in play in terms of like the equipment value? So how many grenades will they waste? How much money will they make off the kills as well? In an ideal world, you're able to use not many grenades at all on a round like this.
Oh, the worrying bit is as well, if they start winning these rounds very cleanly, Fierce start just being able to play the style of CS that they enjoy running. Obviously, as you can see now, they've reached the optimum setup, right? 4 orgs, 1 AWP. This is probably going to be what we see more commonly now going on throughout the game. It's going to be awkward to try and slow them down and put them back in the box if you do unleash the full Fierce roster. At this point, it's just easy pickings for them towards mid. All of the frags go their way until Stanley gets domed.
What was the reload?
Ooh.
So they're still losing players on this round when it really shouldn't be. Shouldn't really be possible.
Should have been pretty clean.
So it means you have to get 2 rebuys in. So that money, it's not looking as great as it should do. This is still a chance for London to reset them. Still 1 more drop to go across, I think, isn't there? Yeah. So 33-50. If you were to lose it with 2 kills found, probably, it wouldn't be looking nice. This is probably the biggest round of the half, the entire game, to be honest.
How's it going to go? In which way will it shape up? Round 24. A minute and 35 on the clock as mid-control is being captured by London. They didn't realise the position that Fry was in. He's already been able to spot out the legs of Adam, spams his way through to get the elimination. The smoke rolling in as well. Blocks off Stanley. As they exchange utility all across the board. They're still working with the mid-control they have been gifted. Stanley just holds strong. Not facing or going for any plays here for the info. Utility usage dwindling away as well, Ben. 2 mollies and 4 flashbangs is all they have left on the T side.
As I mentioned, there's no smokes left, is the main thing. It means they're relying on their aim. Which isn't too bad, all things considered. But that Molotov forces their hand and they still get the kill. So that trade is immediate.
Oh, there could have been a trade back, but Stanley and Soulcast, both of them getting these kills, solidifying it more and more in favor of Fierce. That's the awkward part. Link charges on. He's been so crisp, but he's still human. He can't do anything too outrageous. A hat trick for Soulcast, and Fierce secure themselves 13. A pause coming through. And it will be a tactical pause for London there, Ben.
Not too surprising. I mean, we've now hit the 4th round in a row lost for them. And that round, you know, the opening kill found quite early on kind of disjointed their entire attack or their entire plans. So 13-11. Money on the CT side, much better compared to how it used to be. London, they'll take a half buy here, get some pistol armor. Most likely an execute of some kind. You gotta be thinking though, you're giving them 14-11. You're hoping you're able to fight up that hill from 14-11 down on the T side. Much easier said than done, of course. In theory, you start thinking, well, if we break their money, that's an easy round back. But it's not quite as simple as that. A smokes appears to be the call, and look how many players we've got on the A side of the map from the CT side. As soon as the smoke's coming in, we should see Stam turn straight back around. So you see much more aggressive stuff from Dom going through, facing as much as he wants, really.
Yeah, all of them just going for the wide peaks now. Dive bomb towards them, but
all 5 alive there.
Not really going to work out.
All 5 alive. You didn't really use any grenades because of how early that was. On Fierce's side, you've got to be thinking we've got a guaranteed 2 buy rounds here, minimum. No, even if we lose this round now, we'll have another buy after that. Depending on how close that one is, we might force again. It's looking like a very good position for them to take this map.
Yeah, Fierce could win it here. Especially if they secure this round. Round 26. What are London going to bring to the table?
Yeah, it's more that from this actual startup, they've already been hit by the actual the Astralis mid take. We saw it first with Windigo in Pro League. So Fierce did that from the get-go, and that kind of forced London to play a bit more of a defensive hand, which is why we're now seeing minute 05 or left on the clock or so. It's going to be a B take. Got 2 smokes to do it, 3 flashes. Not particularly ideal, but you can see the CT setup isn't quite ready for this sort of take. If Ry's able to get back onto the site, it could be completely different. He's got a Molotov still available to him. If he's able to take first contact, even better. But they might actually just follow Fraser's AWP in. Smoke's coming through here.
Oh, Fry. Getting shots off, is able to get the elimination through. Link will go down. Fraser with the response from the wallbang. And it is tied up 3 versus 3 now. That match point decider potentially here for Fierce. Astro cloned in with the AWP. Expecting the potential over-aggression to come around, but Fraser just holds his own. Isn't actually pushing in the exposed leg. Ben, he had an ample opportunity to get the kill there. Doesn't connect it, the smokes are in. And they're pushing up. Luckily, Adam is terminating each and every one of them, and it all comes down to Astro to attempt to clutch it. P250 in hand, time of the essence, ticking away. Fraser, it will land that one.
All things considered, I think we probably needed just a bit more from the B actual defenders there. Obviously, Eccles' position on the balcony, fantastic. First contact was taken by Fry as well. But I think it all depends. Was the player facing him when he ran across the balcony? Was it actually, did they spot him? Would he have played even longer, try to play a bit more of a longer con, get more than one kill? Ultimately, it wasn't quite enough. So London actually going for their second pause as well. I think mostly to do with the buy. You can see a lot of guns being thrown about. Some talks potentially there. 14-12. Fierce, as I said, they had another buy in them. The thing is, will they be able to get that sort of round in again? Because Fraser was quick on the trade there when Fry actually did get that second kill in the bomb zone.
The changing we'll see as well. Oh, I was going to say actually no AWP. It looked like everyone had AUGs, but Astro does have the AWP out.
That's not ideal that they've missed the ramp smoke. The one that you stand and just throw.
Yeah. It's very easy to line that up.
Both of them are. There's two, isn't there? They're rather simple ones. So not a good area to start off the round with. Not ideal for the conference. So mid again. So complete comparison, like from their CT side on Fierce to London. Fierce have not once played more than two people even towards mid. Like mid has not been the contention point for them. Standing through. We need to get more. Eccles thankfully is there to get another back.
Eccles wanting to secure those tickets potentially to our live finals as he finds that kill. It's up to Fraser in a 1 versus 4. There should be match point 100% achieved for Fierce, really. He's exposed himself. But Fraser, if he's going out in style. Soul Claps right by him, but he still finds it. Yeah, I know, rolling back the ears. Snobs versus Flipside. Fraser versus Fierce. What is going on?
That's crazy. So this is still winnable. 1v2. Astra is playing much more to sight. If Fraser actually checks his left at all here, this could be crazy, but I don't think he will. He has no idea. He thinks the play has to be towards CT. He'll clear that out. Find nobody there. Astra is just going to get him for free.
Yeah, stampedes his way back towards the site as soon as he starts to go for the bomb plant. Won't even need to be that point. Astro just starts picking him to pieces. And that is match point secured. Fierce eSports 1 away from taking the first map here on Mirage.
And look at the state of that buy in London. 3 pistols most likely in play there. I think he's actually going to pass the AKs across. There hasn't been much to show from them on the T side other than being able to get those picks mid-round and catch them off guard more than anything. It was a good start to the T side. Not much since. So this setup's quite bold from the Fierce guys. Gotta be hoping that Dom has this covered. Oh, there's a huge gap. Oh no.
Ooh. It's not gone too well. Response is coming back in thick and fast from the T's. Astro and Eccles would need to secure victory here from both of the AWPs they have in play. Still a minute on the clock. Spots him out, Ben. Denies the plant. That's Mezzi done. Backed and tagged, but the aggression coming through does not help this situation. Oh.
I said I was kind of worried about that close setup. I mean, Dom, unfortunately, that smoky threw at ramp. Such a big gap on the left-hand side, he couldn't play fully behind it.
Yeah.
Pride did thankfully get the 2 kills back, but then at the same time, the player going through mid managed to get a single lurk kill as well. And Fierce, they're going to accept this. They'll say, okay, we'll put it 15-14. We'll eco this one fully. We're going with a slightly better buy next round. Eccles with Taser.
So, with just these pistols, forced into playing close angles, they're still just being slaughtered. Nothing electrifying coming out from the Taser. Cray as well, spotting out Stanley. And it's only Eccles that is left in 1 versus 5.
Thing is, at this stage, you might as well stab him.
Yeah. you would have got more money for it. I mean, it was potentially something special there. But nevertheless, we get to this position. Yeah, actually would have been way worth it.
Yeah, 1500. And obviously, he would have been the same motion because he did do it like a running tase, didn't he?
Yeah.
So Fierce using their last tactical available to them. So using the full 4 in regulation right here. This has to be to talk about what can we do with our limited weapons here, right? So there's an AWP in play. We can see that was dropped across by Eccles. So you got an AWP, AUG, and an M4. Stan, if you want him to, he can go AUG, Kevlar. There'll be not much utility play there. It's going to be an M4 so you can get the flashbang. This is going to have to be a very proactive CT side, or CT round. If it's more proactive than anything, I think London should understand they need to make the play. Like the other team needs to make the play. We can hold back for the first 40 seconds, so they shouldn't have much utility. But instead, we're seeing London do some set smokes from the get-go here. Mid-window and towards short, I believe. Masking more of an A play. And as you can see, Fierce, they're biting on that bullet right now. 4 players set up towards the A side of the map. The worrying part for them is the longer they wait, the more scared they'll be about rotating player across.
Ooh.
Some information at the very least.
Yeah. I get a slight read of what is going down towards mid. A minute left on the clock. Craig going to pick up the bomb. Start shuffling his way back around with the rest of the squad over towards the A site.
This is not the site you want to be going to. You've still got one more smoke on Dom. That smoke will land at ramp. That'll be gone at about 32 seconds. If Dom's able to get a re-smoke at ramp in that time, you're leaving it down to 15 seconds or you're going through a smoke. It doesn't matter if you do smokes yourself. This is going to be a crazy last few seconds. Dom, he can keep himself alive instead.
But they're just going to push through at this point. Smoke's faded, they clear it. They knew Dom's location. Cray as well, getting the headshot off. Stanley goes up in smoke. There is a tasty shot coming out. The Astro trying to save it. Gets the double kill and it all falls onto Eccles. Going straight through, walking up towards the site, spots out the first man. It's all into a 1v1 versus Cray to pick up the first map. He's left on 14 HP. The Molotov thrown straight towards him. He cannot stay by the bomb. He has to peel back. Found by Cray. The AK connects, and that is going to get 15-15. We're going to overtime here.
A very awkward little hold right there. So obviously Dom, I said the potential of him having smoke ready. He wasn't quite, I think he didn't really buy into the idea of being able to be a bit aggressive with it. After that previous round where I mentioned I was a bit worried about this close setup. So London just want to get on the stream.
Outrageous. It's not really acceptable, is it?
We're already getting lots of airtime.
Exactly, I was going to say, we use the hashtag ESL Prem for popular top topics of debate. Yeah.
It's kind of like question time.
Yeah. How dare they? How dare they tweet him with no actual question or stat about trains?
Or anything.
Didn't even mention their favourite biscuits. I believe UKCSGO has the best bid of UKCS. What about that Jakey 120 guy?
I think he's called UKCSGO.
Oh yeah, he rebranded, didn't he? And he shaved off the beard.
Yeah, you should have seen it.
Yeah, it was huge.
People should have seen it right before, like, when we were leaving Poland. He was like, "I should probably shave all of that."
Yeah, it was huge.
It was massive.
It was huge.
He didn't want to come back to the UK though.
No.
With it in,
his mother would have been furious.
Yeah, exactly. But you should have seen it.
It was big.
Honestly.
He had a little bird living in there, little bird's nest.
Yeah, he had a little wood shop in there. It was like,
yeah.
It was actually like a little birdhouse.
Yeah.
It was kind of crazy. I didn't think he could do it in 3 weeks.
Well, that's the thing about Jakey. He's a man of many mysteries. He's achieved a lot of things. And that's one of them.
Birdhouse in beard.
Tweet us. If you've ever had a birdhouse in your beard, let us know. Hashtag ESL Prem.
Yeah, to be fair. However many of you have ever had that.
Yeah, that's one we need to know.
Honestly, we need you for the freak show.
we need to know. That's for finals.
It's for finals. We've got an axe.
Yeah, I hope you're free. The 30th to 31st of March, Benjamin, in Manchester, Oasis Land.
Yes. That is the official term. And still get tickets, of course.
You can.
.im/CSGO finals. Yeah, I have heard there's a live act.
Yeah. We've got Noel Gallagher coming on for the finals. Warwick Davis, we stage hosting. It's going to be a fabulous event.
Little do they all know, they're coming to a shed.
Yeah, they are actually. The link you actually want to be going to is shed.im/shedfinals.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where it's really going down. Oh, we've got the face tracks cam. Oh, no, we don't. Doesn't have the technology.
So London, will they be able to carry on the same momentum? We didn't see any aggressive plays from Fierce on the CT side in that last half. In all fairness, London, they didn't play too aggressive themselves either. But it's something that we might need to see them doing more. So this smoke and the Molotov used, it delays London quite a bit, forces them to either take mid later on in the round, or forces them into going for a take onto the other side of the map. Much better run boost compared to what we saw on train. There was some issues on train.
Yeah, a lot better synergy there. They've clearly played a bit of Mario in that time.
So that actually was Fry smoking top connector himself there. Which for London you think is just a gift, really. Like they're giving you safe passage. However, it looks like B will be the player, and they're double playing short right now. Stan has all the grenades, and he's actually stuck in ladder room. When they've made these takes, they've usually been very, very far ahead. Here comes the push.
Well, here they go, bombarding their way down, back in towards the bomb site. Eccles with the first. Unfortunately, it's a team kill from Stanley to eliminate him. So it's already into a 3 versus 4. This is getting awkward, Ben. 19 seconds left on the clock. The bomb will go down soon. As they begin to start the plant. 3 versus 4 retake. Oh, they're going to opt to play this one. Fry, put onto a pedestal, the elevated angle in play. As he just try and peer above the clouds and look for an opener. Flashbang goes in towards the site to daze them. Big tag coming out as well, but Fraser capitalizes, shooting back with the AWP. Takes down Fry. Soulcast wildly spamming around as well with the AUG, trying to get these shots off. It's not going fantastically for them on the retake, and London, they will get a 16th.
Yeah, very unfortunate hold there. I mean, Eccles, he had all those enemies in front of him, all backs turned, but Stan, there's not much he can do, right? He's having to shoot these enemies as well, just all the same. But unfortunately, it lines up with where his teammate is. And results in a team kill, which I wouldn't think much of it, but at the same time, when you look at the kill feed and see a team kill, you do get a bit flustered, I guess, is one way to describe it. So I believe we are using the 16K MR3 system. That looks things.
Seems like it.
Which is quite rare.
Yeah.
I mean, it does mean that we get 3 full buy rounds regardless. However, in a situation with the old system, we probably would have had a very scrappy buy from Fierce. But that'd explain why they went for the retake. I was kind of confused why they were trying it even to begin with. But you're able to take those risks with this overtime setting, which I do prefer it myself. So this is going to be an awkward one. Link's managed to get all the way through there. At the same time, Eccles is pushing through Palace. He gets a kill as well and disrupts it. But Link's going to be spotted on the way through from Stan. He didn't see him. I think Link heard him and saw him a bit, but then he's giving away his own position. This is a really awkward round.
Oh, this is not ideal at all. Link, the AK getting the frag off onto Fry. Soulcast goes down. Stanley tries to cause some kind of an uprising. And he is walking his way back over. There is a massive gap on the left-hand side of the smoke here. Peering straight through it. If they attempt to cross, he could punish. Astro counters the aggression, but Stanley falls short. Would have got that kill, could have been a whole different story. Instead, it's still into the 2 versus 2, but they're open, they're exposed for Astro. and it is all up to the Terminator Adam in a 1v2. They're crossing into him. Eccles gets the upper hand with the Org, somehow is able to salvage it and take it 16-16. So it'll only be a one-round advantage off the back of this first half of overtime.
I mentioned in the first half, we didn't really need Astro to show up too much with that AWP. However, this game, it feels like a complete opposite. It feels like he's needed to get multi-kills into these rounds to make them have a chance of winning. Which is not particularly ideal because, as the IGL, typically if you're having to top the scoreboard, sometimes you feel like something's going wrong. So Fierce doing the same set of Astralis grenades, although Adam's committed through it this time. He took a lot of damage for it though. The HE grenade landed right on him. Fry's holding this angle ready for the same peak. He already won this fight once so far this game. Which is why the AWP came for it. That's quite nicely seen. Adam at least remembering, I took that fight early and lost it. He'll probably be holding that box on the face and go for it. Very good eating kills to find.
Stanley.
Flashed in, but flash doesn't actually get anything, but the kill will do just as well.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter too much. He was still able to find the frags. Eccles backing up the whole way out of apartments. Needs to try and cast out the Molotov. Bounces it in as they start to pour their way out towards the site. It's only a little bit of damage done. Astro with the AWP. You were talking about those multi-kills. Can he give us some more? Spamming through, hoping that Craig can try and get a shot off. Tackles him with the Glock. Has support of his teammate as well. So they are rotating in towards the scene. Stanley. Org coming through, hits the first man, knows they're tagged up and carries on firing. They will get the advantage at the end of the first half there, 17-16, Fierce eSports. Moving on to that T side now.
Two very big rounds when you consider the T side was the half that you did technically win. The crazy bit is though, if you, hang on, Tracer's got a silence time 4. Who does that? Who does that nowadays?
What's going on there?
That does say a lot, though, that we've not seen him actually buy it, though.
Yeah.
All things considered.
That's how much they've been on the Org the whole time.
Well, in his case, I guess the AWP and
well, yeah.
Right?
The AWP-Org combo.
But 2-1 in the half of overtime. Fierce getting a grips to it, but I suppose that shows the comparison where how much more comfortable they are when they have more money, right? Because that's the system, with this overtime system, you can basically get guaranteed full grenades, full weapon, armor, kit, everything. In the actual first or second half, they did not have a chance of actually getting all of that. They were not able to attain that sort of situation. So ultimately, London, this is technically still their pick, it's worth noting as well. Right, so Mirage, they got me thinking we need to take this map, because we will be heading into Nuke after. But it's not exactly like this is the do or die situation. They will be starting CT on Nuke, so it's not exactly like, you know, you've got no chance on Nuke, you're starting T, good luck, sort of thing.
Dom's doing a bit of hardcore parkour.
I don't know where he's trying to get to.
Bit of parkour, mate. It's just, you know.
It does just look like someone going mental, though, doesn't it?
You've lost your mind
like
running and jumping on a bin.
He's just running in circles, basically. Sometimes hitting walls, sometimes not.
That's how you warm up for the next half. He's had enough. He's out.
Gone.
Straight to B. Well, here we go. Overtime. Second half coming up. How's this going to go down, Ben?
So let's see how it will go down though, because obviously there was that quick start for Fierce on the T side. They went 5-0 up, and from there they only got 3 more rounds for the next 10. They had quite a lot of full buy rounds, so this overtime won't change too much of that. Let's see though, will it be quick pace, or will it be back to a bit more of a slow one? Looks like it's going to be a bit more of a quick pace. More of an A-split set in stone here. Flashing's connected is huge, and that's a great opening kill. A much nicer start to the half of the race. It's more of the stuff we saw at the start of the game, really.
Yeah.
5-0, they were very confident, peaking everything, taking fights. Cray now trying to do the same thing, but that flash has actually destroyed it.
Ooh. Soulcast getting the assault off with the AK, eliminates Cray, brings it back into a 3-on-4 now into the round. Fraser pounding his way over. A beautiful way to kick it off on the retake. Finds the headshot up onto Astro and leaves them now. Neck and neck. 3-on-3 here. 55 seconds on the clock. You can hear the spam of Fraser's AWP open to try and connect onto someone else. There has not been another gift given to him just yet.
The flash that Dom picked up could be actually really important for the overall round here. What's crazy though is we've got Fry and Stan with both HE grenades. So if they actually do need to try and stop PTPs in a smoke, that could be a huge factor. As you can see, there are plenty of smokes in play. The flash will come over. They've actually smoked connector off from CT.
Oh no. Or the nades, however.
Nades come in and do a lot of damage.
Here's the aggression from Stanley. That will be the crowning move for them as they pick up those frags. Stanley putting them all to bed. They need one more round now on the side of Fierce to fully secure this and win it in a 19-16 scoreline.
It's really nice to see those sort of retake smokes coming in there. Yeah. Because that's one of those things, like, it may seem small, but if you're in that situation... Oh, somebody's missed this one. Awkward, but hey ho. But it's one of those where if you're in the situation and you actually remember the exact lineup and everything, it could be so good. Obviously in that instance it didn't quite pay off, but I imagine there's many scenarios where that will be the way that they win the round. So much more of a B-oriented default from Fierce this time. Not as quick as the last. But mid is the aim of the game here later on. Stan knows the player there, but can't quite find it.
Fraser instantly repositioning around. Adam takes a ton of damage. Executed as well. Stanley eventually capitalizes upon that towards connector. There's the trade from Cray, but it's a short-lived advantage until we're put instantly back into a 3-on-3. Mezzi takes down Eccles, carries on his warpath. Fierce going to be grouping up, it seems, with Fry. Potentially this late round play towards the A site. Fry really testing his might here. Fraser with the AWP versus the AK of Fry. And he shows just how excellent he can be with a weapon.
That could be it, though. I mean, Link needs to get onto the site, I think. Because Mezzi is so far away. It's a good kill to find. It gives him time for Mezzi to actually arrive on the scene. 35 seconds left on this bomb timer now. 2v2. Fry playing quite close here as well. They know where both players are. It's a huge kill to find. Link all on his own.
There he goes, Ben. Shut down by Soulcast. Dominic breaking him. And that is the victory for Fierce eSports. 19-16. They close it down on the first map of Mirage. A bit of an upset, really. It is London's pick. However, Fierce eSports have definitely gone toe-to-toe with some good teams in Mirage in the past.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a bit of an upset in terms of, like, it's not their pick, right? But ultimately, I got to be thinking it probably should have been going to Fierce regardless there. In my mind, it feels like they seem to be the better side. There's obviously a lot of good stuff seen from London, but all in all, you could tell there was a slight edge at times, right? Like whether it was individual or just the overall team.
Yeah, they always had some kind of momentum in their favour for the most part of a lot of the situations they were in. Obviously, the retakes looked pretty good.